I see you lost inside your circumstance, and I see you looking for a chance to dance, and it seems to me the world's a better place because of you. You were made to shine just like the stars above, and I know you are made for love and to be loved, and it seems to me the world's a better place because of you. Oh, why do we see one another and compare our lives together, thinking that the greener grass is anywhere but here? Shine, shine, set your eyes on things above now. Shine, shine, you are someone made for love now. Shine, shine, join in the applause of love and shine. Ain't it grand? Life is so worth celebrating. Hand in hand, live a life worth imitating. Sing along, the world's a better place because of you. Oh, why do we see one another and compare our lives together, thinking that the greener grass is anywhere but here? Truth breaks in like revelation. You're a part of God's creation. You were born with your own story, singing, dancing, giving glory. Shine, shine, set your eyes on things above now. Shine, shine, you are someone made for love now. Shine, shine, join in the applause of love and shine. Shine, shine, set your eyes on things above now. Shine, shine, you are someone made for love now. Shine, shine, join in the applause of love and shine.
Hey, this is Al Robertson from Duck Dynasty and Duck Commander. I want to tell you about a great book called War on Fear from my good buddy, John Morgan. Of course, he looks like George W. Bush, who had the famous War on Terror, so I immediately knew, there was a nice a bit of wordplay there. This book is fantastic. I think it speaks to sort of that natural fear that all of us have, whether it's public speaking or whether it's the first time you get asked to do something you've never done before, up to, the fear of loss of life, of a sick person in your family, all the things that we face every single day. I recommend this highly. I promise you will be blessed when you read this book, and it's the sort of book that after you read it, you're going to want to pass that on to someone else, which to me are the best kind of books. So War on Fear, get yours as soon as you can.
I'm the free world leader. Freedom's rolling out to you. Oh, let's roll. Let it roll. Well, I'm the good news instigator, compassionate conversator. This freedom is rocking and rolling on out to you. White and blue.
I wish I could play guitar that good. But everybody's got their thing. There can only be one, Mr. Phil Kagi. But hey, He's my friend. Which is crazy. Just crazy. It's amazing the doors that open. Welcome to the John Morgan Show, folks. Today is a milestone. We'll have another one in a couple of weeks, but today is show number 40. I am so stoked to be with you today. It's just such a blessing. Wow. Oh, greetings, greetings, loved ones, friends. It is such a joy to be with you, and I'm so stoked. Things are going to start looking up from now on because now I have a new computer, and we're up and on it. And can you tell the difference? I mean, the color is so much better. I've got 2 cameras. Like this is the other one. This is the one. This used to be the crappy one. This is the crappy one. So this is so exciting to me. I mean, just 8 short weeks ago, I was in total fear that I would ever be able to start this, and that fear was 5 years back from when I first took my first class with Cliff Ravenscraft on learning how to be a podcaster. And this is, like a step beyond podcasting because it's video. Of course, there is vlogs, and I don't know if there's a thing called vodcasting, video podcast. I guess they just call it a video podcast. But anyway, I am so thrilled to have been doing this show now for 40 episodes, and it just seems like yesterday that I did the first show, and my, how the time has gone, and my, how the Lord has been so faithful to allow me to do it faithfully and to allow me to do it with excellence. When you go back and you look at the first episodes, you know that there's nothing that you would label with the word excellence, but we're growing. This is me. I'm not a techie. I'm a word guy. I'm a musician. I'm a right-brained type of an individual, and so I'm thrilled that these things are coming along and coming along smoothly over time, and it's just an absolute blast. Well, this being the 40th show, I want to kind of open it up and see what you guys would like to talk about. Whoever happens to be on the show, how about chiming in? Let me know you're there. Again, I'm on a new computer, and comments not available for just friends mode. I don't know what that means. Does that mean I can't see? Okay, so I'm on a new computer, and I may have done myself a disservice, and I might not be able to see your comments. So what I can do instead is go to my trusty iPad and launch Facebook, and I'll be able to see your comments from there. And there you are. Beth, good to see you. Karen, Sue Bailey Vance, the four-named woman, she's there. Appreciate you guys. So I'm going to be looking here to see your comments. Hey, baby, why don't you stick your face in here and let everybody see you?
Well, I was going to...
This is my beautiful bride, Kathy, and I'm so glad she stopped in because this is show number 40.
Number 40.
And it's a meet the family kind of a show.
Yeah, I was trying to help you, but I don't see... Because on the computer or the phone, we have at the top right corner either friends only, or public. So I was going to see.
Does it say that on the... So maybe I can change that from here.
Maybe so. Okay, my right. Either friends only, or public. So I was going to
Does it say that on the edit privacy? So maybe I can change that from here.
Get in here. You get in here.
Okay, I just changed it to public.
Oh, you found it?
I found it on there. Come here, Heather. Come on, stick your head over here. This is Heather. She comes over all the time, and we hang out. And nobody can tell that you're wearing pajamas because it's just from there up.
Okay.
So now, oh look, when I changed it there.
I just changed it to public.
What animal?
I found it on there. Come here, Heather. Come on, stick your head over here.
I fixed it.
This is.
I'm
this
sorry.
Is Heather. She comes over all the time.
Are we good?
And we hang out.
Yes.
We're
All right,
finished
we're
cooking
good.
dinner?
All right, great.
Okay.
Yeah, they
I love
make
you
yes,
all.
they have
I love you
a
all.
show
I
called
have- we
Mom Pot.
We have Mom Pot.
And they do stuff. So Heather, you're in my kitchen. I see your comment there. Susan Long, good to see you. Good to see you. Behind every great man, yes, is a better woman. That is truer words have never been spoken. My beautiful bride, Kathy, is absolutely the essence of my joy, and I am so grateful for her. And those of you that have a great spouse, and I'm hoping that's all of you, then Yahoo for you. What a joy, what an honor, and what a privilege it is to have that. You know, I wanted to show you a little picture of Kathy and me here. Let's see. Look at that. When I first became a George Bush impersonator, I wondered if she would be able to carry on the role as a Laura Bush impersonator. So we went out and got this wig and, worked on the makeup. And surprisingly, she is America's #1 Laura Bush impersonator. Largely because she's the only Laura Bush impersonator. There might be a couple of others out there. I don't know. Not a lot of demand. Even when George Bush was president, there really wasn't any demand for Kathy as Laura. So she was saved by the lack of demand. She just never had to come out and do it. I know, right? Yeah, she was good. She was good. She looked great. But she's the one that first got me started in the look-alike business. She one night was watching a late-night talk show, and it was unusual because we didn't watch late-night talk shows at the time. But she was watching this show, and there was a George Bush impersonator on the show. I think it was the Leno show, the Tonight Show with Jay Leno. And she got so excited because she thought, well, gosh, John looks more like George Bush than that guy does. And here he is on the Tonight Show. So she went and did a web search and found out that he made buku bucks per appearance. And she got so excited. She went and woke me up out of a dead sleep and said, honey, I just found your new career. You're going to become a George Bush impersonator. I just found your new career. Wake up. And I woke up to her grabbing me by the scruff of my PJs, and she dragged me over to the computer to look at the guy's website. And I could see that somebody was doing it and making a good living at it. I still didn't want to do it, but I could see that somebody was doing it, and that at least moved me in the direction of being willing to consider it. Because as many of you know, I had only seen a couple of lookalikes before this time, and they were both kind of, somebody that I wouldn't want to, I'm trying to be kind. It was something I didn't want to do. Let's just put it that way. I did not want to do it. I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to do it. And what made me do it was the thought, what if it's God? What if it's God? I mean, that's really the big thing that caused me to consider it. Because, see, I had been living my life just fine. Now, my church had called on me to do Captain Kirk, Andy of Mayberry, and all these little roles like that, the Wizard of Oz. And, I played these different roles. They tend to give me the lead role in whatever church program was going on. And so I knew I had the bent of impersonation, but I didn't really, it never occurred to me that there could be money in it or that God wanted me to do it. until I had that thought, what if it's God? Because I know that God has a will for each person. He's not just an ethereal mist out there, okay? He's the creator, and he's intimate, and he's very specific in his love for us. So I knew that either he did or did not want me to become a George Bush impersonator. And when I had that thought, what if it's God? I felt like the ball was placed in my court to find out his will. But I didn't want to be wrong, because I'm not a guy who changes easily. I mean, I went to St. James Church from the day I was born until after I graduated high school and gave my life to Christ. And then the place I was at where I gave my life to Christ, I stayed there. And then I'm still at the church that was birthed out of that church. So, I just don't change easy. I still live in Orlando where I was born and raised. I'm not one of these guys that moves and changes easily. And it's largely because I'm just content. I'm a content person. I'm happy, very happy. And so this would mean a big change or a huge step outside my comfort zone. So I wanted to know, because I never want to miss God, but I want to be sure. So I decided that I would fast. So I said, I'm going to fast for 2 weeks. And, don't think that I'm super religious or anything. I just skipped a meal every day or something like that. It was no huge sacrifice. But I didn't want to talk to God about it, because I know that fasting can help prepare you to spiritually actually hear God more clearly. And I did not want to be wrong. I've done lots of stupid things that I wish I hadn't done, and I've done things out of arrogance, and I've done things out of just presumption, and I just didn't want to get this one wrong, because it was a big deal and something I didn't want to do in the first place. So after the 2 weeks, I just really just straight up asked God, and during that 2 weeks, I didn't talk to God about it or nothing, because I didn't want to, jinx it, so to speak. I didn't want to mess it up. So after at that 2 weeks, I said, okay, God, do you want me to become a George Bush impersonator? And friends, I'm telling you, his answer was as clear to me. It wasn't audible, but it was absolutely as clear to me as my voice is to you right now. And in my spirit, he said, yes. And then he said some other stuff that wound up being confirmed as well. So I only knew 2 things at that moment, because this was 3 years into George Bush's first term. I knew that I wouldn't be starting this if it was just going to be over in a year. So I told my wife, I said, I think God's telling me that George Bush is going to be reelected. And so I just never doubted that he would be reelected, and I knew that I had to become a George Bush impersonator. I didn't see it. I didn't understand it. But, if I saw everything, it wouldn't require any faith. It wouldn't require me to trust God. And our trust in God is always based on the fact that he's invisible, and we have to just trust his character, even though we can't see him. And it seems risky, but in the grand scheme of things, what could be safer than being in the middle of God's will, no matter what it is? And missionaries feel that way. I used to think, how could people pick up, take their family? Kathy and I have a couple of families that are just treasures to us, great, great friends, the Beans and the Biddles. And they both have picked up with their families and moved to Guatemala or different countries to share the love of Christ with people they don't know. And what love and what trust and what faith it requires to be able to do that. But once you know what God wants you to do, there's a faith that drops in your heart, and it makes it easier to say yes and easier to pursue it than if you don't know it's God's will. That's why it's so important to snuggle up to him and stay close, because he'll give you that assurance that what you're doing is right. And one of the ways that he does that is he provides peace. The Bible talks about peace. There's, lots of different definitions of the word peace, right? There's the flower child, the peace symbol from back in the 70s. And then there's a piece of pie, spelled differently, of course. But then there's the peace that passes or surpasses understanding. It rules in our heart. And you can actually utilize that peace to guide you into the will of God. And it's something that I depend very much on every day in knowing what He wants me to be doing. And it has given me great assistance. There have been times when I haven't waited for the peace of Christ and just went ahead and plowed through like a bull in a china shop, and I've made some mistakes doing that too. But God is patient, and He's very faithful, and He's been kind. So, what do I want to talk about today? Oh, gosh, I can't believe it's already 20 minutes into the show. That's because I added that 3 minutes at the beginning. You guys might have been on yesterday, and you noticed that there was this cute little thing at the beginning, and it was just sitting there for 3 minutes. Well, I had a countdown clock, but it was so tiny, it was like right here on my neck, and you couldn't see it. It blended in with my neck. So today the countdown clock was larger, and I wanted to have a little 3-minute countdown clock so people could get ready for the show. And then I thought, well, excuse me, why be boring everybody with a countdown clock? Why not add a song? So I went ahead and put my produced song, Shine, on there as a precursor to what I wanted to talk about today. On show number 40, I want to talk about gratitude. And I realize I'm running out of time, but I want to talk about it because it is the foundation of a good life. We so often focus on what we don't have, what we want, what we think we need. But really, it all comes down to very few things. I remember when they first started bottling water and charging for it in the grocery store, I thought, no one is ever going to pay for bottled water. And yet, look at the marketplace. It's just crazy. When water is free and abundant everywhere. Of course, now sometimes the water out of your tap is not suitable for drinking, but water. How about air? Air. The ability to breathe. Wow. Things that are free. How about your vision? The ability to see. It's amazing. I wear contact lenses to do my show, and when I don't have my contact lenses on, I wear glasses because I need them. I didn't used to, but you get older, your eyes start messing with you, and my eyes have definitely started messing with me. But my contact lenses do a great job. So, oops, I was looking up there, but this is the camera that's on. See, even after 40 shows, I still have to get my act together and figure out what I'm doing. And I'm getting there. But what about freedom? We talked about that just the other day. The freedom that we enjoy in this country. Gratitude. See, we all have a default attitude. And we can have an attitude of gratefulness. I like these GR words, gratitude. Or we can have an attitude of grumbling. We can have an attitude of gratefulness, or we can have an attitude of grumbling and complaining. And I just want to encourage everyone to think about what you're grateful for. I'll tell you what, in the chat box, what are you grateful for? Share with me a couple of things down there. What are you grateful for, my friends? I'll tell you one of the things that I'm grateful for. I'm grateful for my beautiful bride, and I'm grateful for my 4 sons. This is from left to right, Christopher, Stephen, Daniel, and Jonathan. My 4 sons, very individual, very unique, and very awesome. Mark, good to see you. Grateful for your grandchildren, grateful for your family. Right on. Grateful for your family, Beth. That's so good, so important. We have family, and what an honor it is to know that we do. I just want to thank God for each of these boys, for Christopher, my oldest son. He's married to the most beautiful woman, Emily. They live out in San Francisco. He is a a nurse out at Stanford Medical Hospital. They have 3 wonderful children and 1 beautiful foster baby, and they're hoping to adopt her. And they're just delightful. They're just such a delight in my life and Kathy and mine's life. Stephen is my number 2 son right there with his hand over Chris's shoulder. He is a filmmaker living out in Colorado Springs with his 2 awesome kids. Daniel is here in town, and he is just kicking it in the food services industry. And John is my adventurer. He spends half his year in Alaska working in a brewery and restaurant, and he practically runs the place down there, and he's basically taken over Skagway, Alaska. I wouldn't be surprised if he isn't mayor there one day. Right now he's on the West Coast. He's out in Colorado, not the West Coast, but Colorado. And these kids, they are just the absolute delight of my life. So I wanted to take time on show number 40, introduce the family, and let you all know that it is such an honor to speak to you every day and to speak with you. Family, friends, and work, yes. Karen, yes, you've got an excellent job. And what a joy it is for you to do it. Steve, my dear friend, it's great to hear from you. I love you, my brother. I love you. And I thank you. Well, guys, it's the weekend. TGI Friday! Woo! We've got our precious friends, Greg and Robin, coming over. They're going to play some games with us tonight. And as you met earlier, our dear friend Heather is over, and we've got some awesome dinner planned. And so I'll let you guys go, get your dinner going. But remember, when you start to grumble, turn the grumble into gratitude. Let that attitude be gratitude, thankfulness for all that you have. We have so much in America. No matter how much we don't have, and trust me, we're trying to make America a better place. We're working hard on it, working hard for reforms, working hard to create a better environment all the time. But what we have is pretty darn spectacular. Well, God bless you. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you on Monday.